Please rise while our graduates are seated. Good evening. Thank you for joining us in the celebration of the class of 2013. I'd like to take a second to thank the Board of Education and the executive team for joining us today. I'd also like to take a second to thank all the parents and grandparents who have made it possible for your children to be up on the stage today. It's a privilege for me to introduce Mr. Steve Cousins, who will give us some opening remarks.
I gotta tell you something, talk to you guys. This is your day. Okay? So, welcome, graduates, faculty, and administration, Board of Education, parents, and friends to this commencement for the Traverse City High School class of 2013. So, graduates, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the importance of this moment right now and how it stacks up against all these other moments in your life. Recently, I heard a song sung by one of the choirs in our school district. The song's called 100 Years, and it speaks to the moments in a lifespan of 100 years. The single most impactful line of that song for me was, "I'm only 33 for a moment." It struck me because that was the age I was when my mom died. She was a vibrant, intelligent, and extremely funny woman. She died much too young at the age of 62 from cancer, and I remember vividly the moment of her last breath. It will stay with me forever, and it shapes everything that I do. One moment in my life. Now the line struck me for another reason, because I was also 33 when I realized that I would look like this someday. At the time, in spite of having hair below my shoulders, an aggressively receding hairline indicated that this bald head was just around the corner. I was watching a video of my daughter's 3rd birthday, and there on the screen was the clear outline of what was to come. That moment is etched in my memory, and it too shapes what I do. I spend a disproportionate amount of money on hats. I have saved countless hours not blow drying or combing. Moments. They imprint on our lives. Moments. Each indicates something different to come. That change is inevitable. Think about this moment right now. This is probably one you won't forget. You worked too hard. You have overcome too many obstacles. Your labor, your persistence has produced a success that is remarkable. The definition of remarkable? Worthy of or likely to be noticed as being uncommon or extraordinary. Why is your accomplishment remarkable? Because statistically, you weren't supposed to make it. And I imagine throughout your career, your educational career, people told you that. If we followed only statistics, only profiles, only trends, the odds of you graduating, well, they were remarkable, uncommon, extraordinary. Somewhere along the line, you had a moment when you determined that you would go the full distance to graduate. I want to share a quote from one of the writers I really like. His name is Graham Greene. He was an English writer and an essayist. And it's 2 lines, just a simple 2 lines. And it says, "There is always one moment in childhood when the door opens and lets the future in." When that door opened for you guys, you grabbed the future and you pulled it in. Your success is no accident. You earned it. Here's another thing about moments. They pass. We move on. Something will always come next. What's going to be your next? You created countless moments in your life that led up to you walking across this stage today. All those moments tell the story of how you got here. And what wonderful stories they are. They can give fuel to your future. They can be tools to shape what you will be, your next. Think ahead of when you will be 33. What do you want to happen in that moment? It will not all be stuff that happens to you. Most will be made up of moments that you create. Graduates, use the same tenacity and persistence to build what will come as you did to get here today. Stay awake to all the possibilities the next moment will give you. Don't be afraid to fail. In fact, risk failure. It's the only way to make this world a better place. It's the only way that you will find your next. There's always one moment in childhood when the door opens and lets the future in. I don't think that there's only one moment. And I don't think it ends with childhood. I think the future presents itself over and over again. I think it is extremely forgiving and that it wants us to keep coming back until we create our next remarkable moment. Graduates, I think that you, in all of your persistence to get to this stage today, are the embodiment of that idea. That idea that we keep coming back until we recreate that remarkable moment in our lives. And I cannot thank you enough for sharing that moment with all of us today. Congratulations and thank you.
Traverse City High School has a tradition of passing the gavel from one graduating class to the other. Each graduating class adds their class colors to the maroon and gold of the Traverse City High School gavel. Will Veronica Tapper, spokeswoman for the class of 2013, and Kyle Leeds, representing the class of 2014, please come forward.
Class spokesperson for the graduating class of 2013, I pass the gavel of the Traverse City High School to the class of 2014. With this gavel, I pass along the honor and traditions of the Mavericks.
On behalf of the class of 2014, I accept this gavel and the honor and traditions that go with it.
Before we start some of the introductions of the people that were here, I wanted to mention that there were a few who were unable to be here tonight. Sebastian Robinson, Austin Kelly, Kendra Scott, Jacob Dast, and Hannah Wilder. It's my pleasure to introduce Miss Leah Doria.
It is my pleasure to introduce Zach Hott-Millard. Zach came to Traverse City High School in the spring of 2012 after attending Central High School. Zach chose to enroll at TCHS after he began feeling overwhelmed by the size of Central and was seeking a smaller setting. Fortunately for us, Zach chose Traverse City High School. During the short time that Zach has attended, he has proven himself to be a diligent worker with a great attitude and a motivation to do well in school. Zach would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the staff at Traverse City High School. In particular, he would like to thank Ms. Essenberg. Zach enjoyed all of her classes and appreciated how she worked to connect the classes to the real world. Zach would like to thank his mom for all of her support over the last year and for helping and pushing him to get through school. He would also like to thank his father for motivating him to get his diploma and for showing through his own experience the importance of finishing school. Zach's future plans include attending NMC, where he may pursue a career in the field of dentistry. Congratulations on earning your diploma, Zach. The staff of Traverse City High School wishes you well in your future endeavors.
Good evening. My name is Tyler Eisen, and I will be introducing Nicole Irish. Nicole, you can stand up with me. I had the pleasure to meet Nicole and her family before her days at Traverse City High School. I met Nicole in Kingsley while coaching her brother. I've also had the pleasure to have Nicole in a variety of physical education classes. Nicole is very smart, hardworking, and good at prioritizing her various responsibilities between schoolwork, working, and parenting. She's very kind, respectful to others, and while at TCI she made significant academic gains, these characteristics are sure to serve her well in her future endeavors. Nicole plans to attend a new school to become a nail technician. She is currently working at TJ Maxx and would like to thank all her family and friends for their support. Congratulations, Nicole, and good luck in the future.
Good evening. I'm Jody Murphy, the math teacher at Traverse City High School, and it is my honor tonight to introduce Nathan Smith. compassion, intelligence, and focus. With these tools, he will be able to achieve whatever goals he wishes in the future. For now, he plans to work and possibly later will attend college. He would like to thank the following people for helping him with his successful completion of high school: his dad, his mom, and his girlfriend, Carlene. Congratulations, Nathan. This is your-
Good evening, my name is Josh Veith. I'm the social studies teacher at Traverse City High School. I have the honor to be speaking for Nate Grozier. Nate. When Nate first came to Traverse City High School, he seemed very quiet, kept to himself, didn't really stick out. So I was pleasantly surprised to have him start showing up in the after-school music club once in a while. And it's through the CLC program they do after school, run by Donna Novak. It's a great program. But I was very surprised to have this shy, quiet kid suddenly just grab the guitar one day and start playing it in front of basically strangers. It was pretty impressive. It was my first introduction with Nate, and it kind of stuck with me. I also heard when I started asking around about who this guy is that he was in Miss Choick and Mr. Isaac's gym class, and the assignment in an outdoor ed class was they had to build a survival structure that they could, potentially sleep in at night. And, Choick and Isaac said they could be a scale model. It didn't have to be full scale. But, as I'm learning, it's kind of typical of Nate. He went all out and built a giant structure, full life size, that you could probably comfortably live in. And that kind of says a lot about who Nate is. I asked him the other day when I was putting these words together, what he wanted to brag about, if he wanted me to mention things. And of course, he didn't say anything except for his family. But then asking around again, I found out that Nate's in the TBA program, and he's been involved in regional and state competitions through TBA, which is really rare and very impressive. So, the fact that he's that skilled and yet never talks about it, that says a lot about Nate too. Just really hardworking, and he's got a lot of family here tonight. He especially wanted to thank his mom Susan and his two grandmas Marcia and Grandma Sally. Nate says that he's going to miss the family feel of Traverse City High School, and that he formed the strongest bond with his language arts teacher, the fantastic Nancy Potter. We only had you for a few months, Nate, and I'm glad I got to teach you in at least one class. I'm very glad that you're graduating, but I wish we could have had you longer. Congratulations.
The remaining people who are up on the stage have decided to write their own speech, so I'm going to introduce them, and they're going to come up and they're going to talk to you as a crowd. First is Jennifer Zikes.
I would like to thank everyone who has helped me stand on this stage today. Mr. Morgan Ford rolling in those 19 and pregnant. Miss Essenberg for being great even if I had a million questions. Miss Murphy for helping me understand algebra by teaching me how to fix a problem. She helped me pass math with an A. Miss Choick for making forensics and environmental science both fun and interesting. Mr. Isaac for making environmental science an introduction to new things that I never thought I would like. Mr. Veith for making history and Lord of the Rings classes that I was excited about going to. A special thank you to Julie and Lisa for daycare. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to come back to school and to graduate. Josh loves you both. I want to give my husband Alex and my son Josh a special thank you because they were my drive to finish high school and to become the mother and wife I am today. I dropped out my senior year, moved to a new town, and found out in July that I was pregnant. I knew then that I had to go back to and graduate for my son because why would he do the senior high school would he? In my mind, he might think, Mom didn't graduate, why do I? I didn't want that for my son or for myself. My husband encouraged me to go back, but I didn't want to be judged for being at school and being pregnant. But going to TC High, I never was. I love TC High, and I'm happy to graduate with my class. I haven't had the easiest year, but with the support of the staff, they made it so I can stand here today proudly. I have worked hard for my husband, my son, and most of all myself. Life isn't easy, and neither is school, and being a teen mom makes it hard. TC High staff helped make it easier. However, if graduating is something you truly want, then you got to put the effort into it. Thank you everyone who has helped me make it possible to stand here today as a proud mother, daughter, and wife, and class of 2013 graduating student from TC High.
I'd like to start by thanking my mother for believing me and never doubting me.
Knowing I would do it, I would also like to thank my sister Angie, who has helped me so much in my journey to graduate.
I would also like to thank my beautiful daughter Monica, who has made me push myself to finish high school. To give her a good role model to follow. I did this for us, princess, so we can have a good future ahead of us. I would also like to thank my amazing boyfriend Joey for always being there for me. I'm happy to be sharing this moment with all of our loved ones. I would also like to thank all the Traverse City High School staff, the STEP program, and the daycare ladies, Julie Van Pelt and Lisa Brown. I'd like to thank you all for pushing me to achieve my goal to graduate. Although many times I wanted to quit, you made me realize how important graduating is. I'm proud to be up here today graduating from the Traverse City High School. I would have never done it without all the help of my family and my amazing school. Thank you.
Next is Adam Moyer.
I never thought I would be able to experience graduation after getting kicked out of 2 schools. I was always up to something and getting into trouble. After enough bad choices, I found myself in Traverse City living on my own. From the few people I knew and all the good things they had to say about Traverse City High School, that's where I ended up. I think that's been one of the best choices I've made in a long time. What makes TC High unique is definitely the staff. Words cannot begin to describe the amount of gratitude I have for each and every one of you. You all have impacted my life in a positive way. The patience and tolerance you have shown me is the reason why I stand before you today. Thank you, Traverse City High School staff. I want to give a special thanks to Ms. Hendricks and Ms. Stark for helping me out so much whenever I needed it, and you, Mr. Murray. I could go on and on thanking you for everything you've done for me, but we'd be here for a long time. So I'm going to keep it simple and just say thank you. But most importantly, the person who's been there for me since day one, the person who would have my back even when I was wrong, the person who would call me every morning at 6:45 just to make sure I was up and moving, and then call back 10 minutes later just to make sure I didn't fall back asleep, is you, Mom. Thank you. I also want to thank you, Dad, Amanda, and Grandma for being there for me along the way and never giving up. Thank you.
Next is Glenn Bastine.
Well, I was going to do a speech, but being up here kind of makes you just want to switch things up. So, I want to say, well, today is the day I've been waiting for, graduation. I was supposed to graduate last year, but typical teenager doesn't like school, so I didn't go. I want to thank Mr. Morgan for dealing with me, all the teachers here for handling my rambunctiousness, Emily and Bryant for being here with me since the beginning of the year. I switched here last year, the last try, and I didn't really feel comfortable till this year. I kind of grew on me like a family. I want to thank my mom for always motivating me. I want to thank my grandpa even though he's not here. I want to thank my grandma even though she passed away before I started kindergarten. I want to thank everybody who always helped me out and never doubted me. I just want to say that I'm going to miss this place. And you guys really, influenced me in my future life. That's pretty much it. Wrap it up. Thanks for being here.
Next is Matt Thomas.
Hi, Matt. I've never been really good at speeches, so they always say that you have one chance to be in high school and one chance to make the best of it. And I feel like if you're going to do that, TC High is the best place to do it. All the staff is really awesome. Mr. Morgan, the best principal I've ever had. Miss Penny, greatest librarian in the world. I'd like to thank my parents, mainly because they kicked me in the butt if I didn't try hard enough. Really for helping out for taking me and all that. So yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody, thank you all for being here, and thanks for supporting us through this effort.
Next is Aaron Berkamo.
Hello, my name is Aaron Berkamo. I've been going to TCHS for 2 years now. When I first came to this school, I was nervous about what to expect. I met lots of new people who helped me to make new friends and make me feel comfortable. This school was easier for me because of the longer class periods and not having so many classes in one day. I also like the relationships between staff and students. The teachers really tried to make it fun. If they realized you were feeling bad or having a bad day, they really tried to cheer you up. It was difficult for me to pass my classes in other schools, but at TCHS I got lots of one-on-one help and assignments that were easier for me. I would like to thank some people at TCHS. I would like to thank Mr. Morgan for letting me come to the school. I would also like to thank Ms. Doriot for helping me with my assignments and for helping me with comprehending my reading a little easier. I would like to thank Mr. Jackson for being a friend to me and Mr. Olson for helping me get my credits in line so I can graduate. I would also like to thank Ms. Drake and Mr. Moore for letting me help them with different projects around the school in my free time. I would like to thank my Uncle Chris for pushing me further and further in life to be successful and for letting me live with him. Some of my future plans include going to NMC. I do not know what I'm going to be yet, but I am looking forward to going to college. I will always be proud to have graduated from Traverse City High School. Thank you.
Next is Paige Austin.
I'm standing here in front of you all with a million things running through my head. I just want to start out by saying, and this is to every single one of you, you've all impacted my life for the good, and I don't know where I'd be if I never would have met you all. I've never actually wanted to go to school, but for the past 2 years, school was actually something I enjoyed. Instead of feeling hopeless, every single staff member here actually cared and wanted me to succeed. I honestly probably would have just gotten my GED and went on with life. TC High is full of amazing, kind-hearted, loving people, which you've all have a special place in my heart, and with that, I would like to say some words about some of the staff. Big P, you are by far the best teacher I've ever had. You're my mom bear, and I appreciate that. You go out of your way just to make me smile, so I'm going to say thank you for all the hugs, the advice, the smiles, and the love you've given me. You're the bomb diggity, Big P. I love you. Miss Penny, I'm glad we got through all our freakouts, our crying sessions, and the talks we had. I'm definitely going to miss our popcorn Fridays and just talking with you. You're such a sweetheart, and I love you so much. Your school wouldn't be the same without you. Megan, now that I can officially call you that I'm graduated, you're the best secretary any school could ask for, and thank you for letting me do your job whenever you were gone, even though I was way better. You're one of the best teachers I've ever had. Your classes are always fun no matter what. I mean, I got to dance like a hobbit on a table in Lord of the Rings. It's pretty awesome. You even made econ and civics fun, and they're not fun to take. You have such a big heart and open arms, and that's why you're such an amazing teacher. Thank you for everything. I love you. Izing, you and I didn't get along for a while. Maybe because I gave you a hard time and I hated gym class, but you think you're so funny, cracking your jokes all the time, which at this point I'm just going to let you think that they're funny because I don't want to end on a bad note. But I love you. Potter, I just want to say that I'm sorry for ditching you an yearbook. You're such a kind, fragile-hearted woman, and I'm glad we bonded as well as we did. Jackson and Mr. Ken, you guys always brightened up my day. I loved walking into school because you both would always have the biggest smiles on your faces. I'm really going to miss you guys. Oh, and Jackson, please tell your wife that her banana bread is the best I've ever had. Miss Murphy, even though we only had one class together, you're such a sweet lady, and I'm glad we did. I mean, you taught me a lot. 2 + 2 is 5, right? And Mr. Morgan, you are the best principal in the world. I know you come off as Mr. Tough Guy, but in reality, you're just a big teddy bear. I want you to understand how much I greatly appreciate everything you have ever done for me. I mean, you can't not like me. I was your backup secretary. I'm really going to miss you and your super full head of hair. Notice this. You're the best, Morgan. I love you. And I also want to take time to thank my family, especially every single one of you sitting there in the audience. You all have been there for me throughout these years, and I can't explain how much it means to me. I love you all so very much, and thank you for being here for me today. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. Well, I'm standing here, holding back my tears. I'm about to receive my diploma, in shock, and I'm finally proud of myself. Thank you all for everything.
Is Joey De La Rosa.
I would like to start off by congratulating the class of 2013. I would like to give a big thank you to all the ladies in the STEP program, Ms. Hendricks, Ms. Stark, Ms. Abbott, Ms. Jordan, for being there for me since day one, and for helping me with my schoolwork and pushing me to finish and graduate. I would also like to give a thank you to the TCH High staff for making my high school years enjoyable. I would also like to go to school, I would also like to thank my mom and dad for not allowing me to give up on school and always encouraging me to go to school to have a better life in the future for my family. Thank you.
Next is Sam Glassman.
Determination is the best motivation. In the day my son joined the world, I stayed focused on giving us the best future possible. Teenage mothers have been given a bad name, and I didn't want to be another statistic. I wanted to be successful so that my son was never deprived of his wants and needs, so that my loved ones could be proud of me, and because I wanted to show everyone who doubted me that I would graduate. I want to thank all the teachers that helped me make it this far. I want to thank all my friends that kept me motivated even when times were hard. And I also want to thank my family for support whenever I needed it. I am so appreciative to the staff at Traverse City High School. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to graduate from such an inspirational school. This will be a day I will always remember. Thank you to everyone who made it as special as it is.
Next is Paul Moakland.
To be honest with all of you, I never thought I would make it to where I am today. I'm so grateful for everything, the staff at TCI, the assistant group. I want to start with this speech by thanking Mr. Morgan. I'm happy to say that I have a good friend and a good role model to always remember. Mr. V, ever since I came to TC High, you've always treated me as one of your own. I'm so happy that I had you as my teacher. You've helped me with more than you know. Thank you for everything. Now, Ms. Hendricks, if I didn't have you around to help with my missing work, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you for your time. Mr. Olson, my main man, you've been so supportive of my choices, and I know you want the best for me. You've inspired me to go to college and to get my personal training/dietitian certificate. Thank you for helping me stay organized and stay on track. Now for the touchy part. In 2005, my father passed away from MS. He always wanted the best for me in every way, especially school. Dad, I'm happy to say that I know I've made you proud. It's been a long 8 years, but you've helped me grow in every way immensely, and you've opened my eyes to how beautiful life is and how easy it can be taken from you in an instant. Most of all, I need to thank my mother. I know we don't see eye to eye on some things, but you are my mom, and I always love you, no matter what. Thank you for pushing me to do my work. If I hadn't had you to help me with my work, I would have never made it here today. I thank all of the amazing staff at TC High. I will always remember every one of you as a family member of my own. We have all been dreaming about this day. I can't believe we are finally here. Thank you for everything.
Next is Aubrey Grzwicki.
Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Aubrey Grzwicki, and I would like to take a moment to thank a few people for helping me out this year. First off, I would like to thank my mom and dad for supporting me and encouraging me to do my best and try hard. You both taught me to never give up no matter what. I'd also like to thank my friends for being there when I needed you. You helped me keep a smile on my face through it all. Lastly, I'd like to thank my teachers, counselors, and administrators for making today possible. Thank you for your patience and courtesy. I know you've all put up with way more than you should have had to. It wasn't easy, but I made it, and I've had a great year. I learned a lot, not just in school, but about myself. Congratulations, class of 2013. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
Next is Faith Stark.
When I was young, I'd lay in bed at night and dream about my life. It hasn't quite ended up like I imagined, but that's probably for the best, or else I'd be a barrel racing cowgirl with 13 children. The thing that I was most off about, though, is this moment, my graduation. I'd always planned to walk up on the stage like Tony Too Tough as smoke clouds filled the room and glitter fell from every angle. But I also thought that R. Kelly would be walking right next to me in matching boxing gear singing the world's greatest. It's truly an honor to say that I've graduated, but without my team I would have never gotten here, so I would like to thank the following. Thank you to my teachers and my friends, Amanda and Carly. Through thick and thin, you have always been my guardians. The two of you have always been there to have a good time with me, but never hesitate to kick me into shape when it's needed, and then a couple more times just for giggles. And Jackie, you have encouraged me so much since you moved back from California. I always imagined that Uncle John would be sitting next to you at this point, but I know he's still here rejoicing with us. You and Uncle John have given me so much, I want you to know that I really appreciate it. Big shout out to Sidewalks for keeping me off the streets, and to my second mother, Ida, for giving me rides when the Shoelace Express wasn't an option. Q-Ball and Uncle, the Perriers are two of my biggest supports. No matter what happens, you're always there with a shoulder to cry on and a piece of advice to get me going again. And Dad, without the incredibly scattered selection of music that you've given me throughout my years, I would have never made it through school on a day-to-day basis. To my boyfriend Christopher, thank you for always making sure I got to school every day. No matter what, you make sure I'm taken care of. Aristotle says that love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. He must have been talking about us. No matter what obstacles stand before us, nothing can keep us apart. You're my other half, and I can't wait to see what our future holds. But the biggest thank you belongs to the queen of my castle, my mama. You've constantly been there to stand up and advocate for me, to encourage me to do the right thing. I've learned a lot from you, like how to live and trust people before judging them, how to love the Lord and live a disciple's life, how to fear no man or woman. You've taught me right from wrong and good from evil, but most importantly, you showed me how to apply it to my life. I can never thank you enough for all you've done for me. So with this diploma, I will make something of myself, and when I make it to the top, best believe I'm taking you with me. I love you with all my heart. My final thank you goes out to the bright side of the family. In the Stark family, we have the saying, hold the line. It means that if one of us stumbles or falls, we will step up to take the other guys to keep our family strong. On January 4th, this Christmas, things I will start. She's a real-life superhero, battling lung cancer, and hung on like a trooper until he could no longer. He was strong, independent, smart, handsome, hilarious, kind-hearted man who taught me that with someone with power and a little elbow grease, I can accomplish anything, and he was right. I will soon be college student at NMC, following in the footsteps of my mother from going into early childhood education. Walt Disney said that all of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So today I stand before you full of dreams and courage for everything I can true. Thank you.
Next is Storm Stokes.
I never thought this day would come. It was nowhere near easy, but extremely difficult and stressful. When I found out I was pregnant, the first thing that came to my mind was how I was going to graduate. After a 3-hour talk with my dad and a very long one with my mom, I came to the conclusion that I was going to do it. It was going to happen not only for myself, but for my baby. It wasn't going to be easy, but I was ready to overcome any curveballs my life was about to throw at me. Accomplishing getting my diploma was one of my biggest goals, and I want to have been able to accomplish anything that I have accomplished without my friends and my family by my side to help me get through the rough times. I've never been to a school that has been as caring and supportive as this school has been, and I thank them for that. I send a special thanks to Julie and Lisa for helping me out whenever I needed it, even if it was a ride home from school. I send a special thanks to my parents for being there for me, helping me take care of my baby, and not giving up on me when I thought I couldn't do it anymore. Thank you for everything that you have done for me to get me through these last years. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys.
Next is Ann Hoover.
There's a lot more people than I thought there were. Excuse me if I get emotional. Alright, it took me forever to be able to write this speech, and I couldn't figure out how to fit all the thank yous and all the love I have for everyone into one-page paper. So instead of listing off a whole bunch of names, I just went something to everybody. The last 4 years have had some major ups and downs, and I'm glad to have met such amazing, caring people to help me along the way. And now here I am standing on stage graduated. So thank you to all my friends and family and all the teachers who went out of their way to make sure I made it here. Without you, I probably would have given up a long time ago. Thank you. And thank you to Ms. Potter for making sure I wrote a speech. Because I could not have otherwise.
Bird.
My life, let alone my high school career, has been easy. I originally was supposed to graduate from TC Central class 2012, but I wasn't in the best place in my life, and I fell into a deep depression for about 6 months and dropped out of school for about 4 months. And that affected my attendance terribly, and I couldn't graduate. Coming to TC High was the best decision I made for my life and future. I started here in December 2012, and when I came here, I didn't think I could do it. But look at me now, on the stage before you. I had a bunch of critics and people that thought I couldn't do it after I already felt once. TC High has a very bad rep, but when you're here, you're family. I wish I could have came here last year. TC High gave me a second chance, and when you're here, you're treated like family and with respect. I just want to thank Mr. B. You're awesome. Thank you for always being there with a smile and to make me feel better. I can literally talk to you about anything. I would like to thank Ms. Essenberg. You're literally my favorite teacher. You're so patient and kind. I absolutely love your class. Ms. Murphy, I have never met such a sweetheart in my life. You made doing math easy and fun. I appreciate all your help and support. Thank you so much. Mr. Morgan, thank you for believing in me and giving me a chance when all others doubted me. You're a cool guy and I have a lot of respect for you. I also want to thank all the women in STEP. You guys are awesome. Without you guys, I would definitely not be here, school-wise, the real world, everything. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Ms. Chilwick. I know we had our days, we had to deal with my sassiness, but you were my teacher 3 of my 5 terms at TC High. You definitely know me the best. Thank you so much for everything, for always pushing me, even when I got frustrated and gave you attitude. You still were there for me, and still always helped me in the end. I could talk to you about things in the real world, and you always were around. Your classes were a challenge, but you always got me through it, and thank you so much. My plans now are to go to MC for a couple years. I want to become a radio personality or a news broadcaster, so I'm going to be studying communication and broadcasting. But for now, I'll be an MC. I plan on working all summer, staying out of trouble, and saving for an apartment and car. Nothing is set in stone. Anything could change, but for now, that is my plan. I just want to shout out all my friends because to me, my friends are my family and always have been. I first off want to thank my brother. I love my brother so much. We're twins. And he's literally everything to me and always been there for me no matter what. And I always love you. Thank you for everything. I know you always got my back in the world. I know I'm never going to be alone. We came to this world together. We're probably going out together. I know you'll die for me and I'll die for you. And I always got your back. I want to shout out to my friend Hannah and her family for taking me here this year so I can finish school and getting me through it. I want to thank all my friends. I have so many I can't even stand up here and name. I really want to thank my best friend Justin. He's been my best friend for 7 years. Thank you for always being there for me. For everything, and dealing with my craziness all the time. Thank you so much. I love you to death. I just want to thank everybody. Congratulations, guys, we did it, and I'm so proud. I did this by myself. I don't have a lot of family support, and it has been very, very hard for me. I am so proud today, and I'm so proud of everybody. Thanks a lot.
Maxine Burrows.
So I think I was born between a rock and a hard place. So it goes. Recently, a very influential man in my life has passed away, my art teacher from primary school. I learned from him how to use my hands in order to use my heart.
decided I wanted to continue doing this for the rest of my life. When I was 14, I started dancing, and through the following years, I learned to use my body to use my heart. And the years following were short, but the days were long. That's when, somewhere along the line, I stumbled into Joan Abbott's life. I learned that when someone possesses the ability to forgive, it is the most beautiful, admirable quality someone can possess. And from her, I learned forgiveness. Miss Abbott is the reason I came here. She stood up for me when I was at my lowest, and for this I am eternally grateful. To tell you the truth, if I could do the whole thing over again, I think I'd come to TC High from the start. You see, the thing is, I've never had much luck with school, but there must have been some luck with me because somehow I was able to come here. I can say confidently now that I've grown up more in the last few months than I have in my entire life. And with that, I think I'll keep it short and sweet with a quote from my favorite artist, The Shins. But I know I have to learn fast and keep my head up, because I know I got the side of me that wants to grab the yoke from the pilot and drag the whole mess into the sea. With that, I love you, Dad and Mom. I love you, friends, and Aaron. I adore you so very much. And Miss Abbott again, and to Mr. Floyder. I'll miss and love you very much, and all the staff and all that, and yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm very relieved that speech is over, because as you've noticed, they're coming up here and reading from their speeches, and sometimes I have to step in. At the bottom of this one, it says, shoulder, shoulder, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear and blow a kiss. Pretty sure I couldn't pull that off. Next up is Brian Graham.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and congratulating the whole class. We worked for it all year long. Second of all, Mom, you're a big thank you. We have not been on the same page since I moved back up here the last 2 years. Tell you what, did I mess up a lot, but you've been my best friend, not only as my mother, but a lot of support. My best friends, Hasito, Emily, Glenn, and Dylan, you guys are awesome. Also, I want to thank TC High. You guys are by far the best school ever. Mr. V and Miss Essenberg are my biggest fans. The classes I hated the most. But every day that I look forward to seeing you guys talking all hour in Mr. V's class, Miss Essenberg helping, making things understandable, and then Miss Chowick. Dealing with me and Glenn and Emily was not probably easy for you, but we had fun. And I just want to thank everybody. That's it.
Next is Tawny Morris.
Do you all remember the thing Forrest Gump said when he was sitting on the bench waiting to go see Jenny? A quote, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." I believe that statement to be true. Reason being, I became a teen mom, and that definitely was not on my agenda for high school at this moment. But I have to thank Kenneth Crawford for bringing me this amazing baby boy into my life. Chad Riley, I love you oh so very much. If it wasn't for you, Mommy wouldn't be graduating. Now, to my dad, Rodney, thank you for being there for me, even when it was hard to. Also, I am sorry for adding a few more gray hairs to your collection. Tammy, thank you very much for being there. And for Talon, I want you, Talon, sorry. Now for my wonderful brother, thank you for helping me when I had a problem you could help me with, because you were experienced. I am also very proud of you for finally making it to your senior year at Alma College. Someday I will be there in your shoes. And last but not least, the most amazing woman I've ever known, Pat Williams, my grandmother. I love you so very much, and to have such a caring, amazing, strong woman like you to be in my life. And thank you for teaching me how to cook, because next fall I am going to be attending NMC's culinary. And also, thank you for all your amazing cookies. Now for my thank you to the staff. To Julie and Lisa, thank you for watching my love of my life for me while I was attending school. You two are definitely the best open-hearted ladies ever. And dear old Mr. Olson, thank you for helping me with my credits and also keeping chocolate stashed in your desk for them bad days when they were really needed. And to three amazing teachers, Miss Essenberg, Chowick, and Miss Potter. Thank you for teaching me in my classes, and also thank you for teaching me what patience really is. And to Miss Murphy, aka Murph. Thank you for letting me bug you during this half hour when I had to catch up in geometry because I had split first hour. Thank you everyone at TCHS. Woo!
It's hard to believe that at the beginning of the year I wanted nothing to do with school, because TC High has really made me realize that I'm going to miss it. I owe huge thanks to the staff for that. I've never felt so welcome at a school. It's like one big family. It's really hard to single out any one teacher because you're all great. You all do amazing at taking care of each student, but eventually you have to send us all on our way. So I just want to thank my family for coming out tonight, and I want to say congratulations to the class of 2013. It's been a great year.
Next is Mary Hines.
Traverse City High School has meant so much to me. It's seen me through moving several times, homelessness, and most recently moving out of my parents' house. Without Traverse City High School, I would not have 3 college classes under my belt, the backing of a well-respected school counselor, or a job. Traverse City High is my home away from home, especially the wonderful after-school programs. My graduation is bittersweet, and even though I'm moving on to the next chapter of my life, with endless roads to take, my Maverick family will always be in my heart. Most importantly, I would like to thank the teaching and administrative staff, the STEP program, Buckland Community Schools, and of course the wonderful donations, all of which have made this senior's final year unique.
Next is Carlin Rouse.
I want to start by saying thank you to 30-plus family members and friends who came here to spend the night. It's been a long road filled with those annoying giant potholes my family made around them when I'm staying here as a high school graduate. I would make right back success to someone in my life that's always supported me. Wish me to. It got me going when I lost motivation. I want to say thank you to my dad, Josh, for everything he's done for me. And I also like to thank my mom for always being there for me. And when I had more problems or just needing to rant about anything, and our family is a huge part of my success. They've all pushed me to reach my goals. I want to thank my awesome boyfriend, Nathan Smith, for keeping my butt in gear these last couple months and doing my stressful times with me. Last but not least, I want to thank all the teachers who told me to be quiet. I might have just like 2 at the time, but I'm so very thankful for it now. Thank you, everyone. I want to just make 2 people happy. Isaac, you're the greatest, and Joey, you're the best too.
Jessica Jessica Mackey.
High school was not easy for me at all. Every day felt like a struggle. I made a lot of bad choices and fell behind fast. I wanted to give up many times, and a lot of time left because I felt like I couldn't do it. But I never quit because of all the amazing people in my life telling me I could do it and that I'm better than that. Now, because of them, I'm standing here graduating. So I want to thank all my friends, teachers, and family for pushing me to keep going and for helping me through everything, especially my mom and dad. I love you both so much. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I would have never been able to do this without your love and support.
Next is Bethany McRae. All right. It took me forever to finally write this speech, but the time has come, and I have to come right out and say it. First, I want all the TC High staff who has ever helped me and encouraged me to keep going in the past 3 years to know how thankful I am for them, and that I will always have a special place for them in my heart, and that I'm going to miss each and every one of them. There are a few teachers I would like to thank on a personal level. No? Miss Potter, I think out of all the teachers I've had, you may have put up the most BS, bad attitudes, and stupid comments, but you continue to keep your cool, and for that, I have so much respect for you. Mr. Eisen, you are definitely a character. I know I wasn't always the most athletic in your classes, but we had a lot of them together. You're a fantastic gym teacher and an even better person. Mrs. Murphy, I hate math. Absolutely hate it, and I know a lot of the students at TC High felt the same way, but you still had the time to help me. Without that help along the way, I wouldn't be done with it now, so thank you very much. Beef, you were the first teacher who actually acknowledged me. It may just have been, that's the ugliest sweater I've ever seen, but strangely enough, it made me feel like I belonged here. Your classes were always my favorite, whether I showed it or not. The philosophy class really helped me get to know myself better and to appreciate the little things around me more. You also introduced me to my new favorite movie series, Star Wars. Thank you for wearing ugly ties and being you. Nope. Miss Penny, you is smart, you is kind, and you is important. You are the best mentor teacher ever. You were and always are there for us. We may have gotten on your nerves and argued every once in a while, but what family doesn't do that? You will always be in my heart. Love you and thanks for everything. Lastly, Mr. Morgan, I remember meeting with you before coming to the school. You scared the bejesus out of me. There's kind of a theme going on here. But I've come to realize that you're just a big sweetheart, and you do a lot for the kids that go to Traverse City High School. Not all the students realize it yet, but I do and did within the first couple of months of being here. Also, I want to thank you 1,000 times for what you do. You are the best. I also want to thank my mom, dad, brothers and sisters, and all the friends that have been there for me, for loving me and encouraging me to try my hardest. I love you all more than words could ever describe. Without all of you, I wouldn't be standing here today, finally graduating, finally proud of myself. Thank you all so much. Summer Welling.
It's hard to believe that graduation is here already. It doesn't seem like too long ago that I was sitting on the weather rug in first grade meeting my best friend for the first time. It's crazy to think about everything that's happened since then. all the good times that can never last long enough, and all the bad where giving up seems like the only option, but continuing anyway because we can't help but feel that hope buried within us saying it gets better, and so it does. I want to thank my Aunt Tanya and my sister Tamara for so much for opening up their homes and for helping to motivate me to keep going. And I'd like to thank my fiance John and my nieces Aubriana and Zahara for helping me to see reason to. I want to thank my dad for being understanding and helping me stay on track with the college enrollment process. As for staff, I want to thank Ms. Novak for being so wonderful, and Mr. Beith for bringing positive energy into learning, and Ms. Penny for being willing to listen and helping me with escapism via reading. These teachers indirectly encouraged me to try, and that's something I needed. I've finally been excited to go to school every morning. Thank you all so much. I honestly don't know where I'd be right now if without your help. Next, I'll be moving down to Grand Rapids to attend GRCC, where I'll be studying baking and pastrying under the Culinary Arts program at the Sekia Institute. Guess I'll find that the hope was right. It's getting better. Thank you.
Ms. Hall, will you please join me? President Hall and members of the Traverse City Area Public School Board of Education, I present to you the Traverse City High School class of 2013. I affirm that these students have completed in a satisfactory manner the requirements for graduation as set by the Board of Education and the Michigan Department of Education, and that they now may receive their diplomas.
Board of Education, and Superintendent Cousins, I accept this class as ready to receive their diplomas, knowing that they have met the requirements set forth by this Board of Education and the state of Michigan. Congratulations.
Staff and board members, please take your places for the presentation of diplomas. Okay, before we go any further, I would like the entire Traverse City High School staff to stand. I'm actually one of the lucky ones that I absolutely love my job. And the reason I love my job is because I get to work with people like you. So I appreciate everything that you do for everybody on the stage. I'm sure everybody in the audience appreciates it. You've heard from the students how they appreciate it. And I just want to thank you for everything that you do, because I do have the best job. I also want to take a quick second to say goodbye to a good friend. Mr. Jackson is sailing off into the blue seas. This is his last official Traverse City High School event. He's been with us for a number of years and has been a positive influence in our hallways and in our classrooms and with conversations with kids. So Dave, I appreciate everything that you do. Definitely miss the bread in the mornings which you claim to have made. All right. Thank you very much. With that, I want to introduce Donna Novak, who will introduce some of the scholarships that we have for our students.
Good evening, my name is Donna Novak. It is our honor and privilege to present the 2013 scholarships for Traverse City High School. There are 5 awards this evening. We welcome to the stage Mrs. Mary Tuttle to present our first scholarship of the evening.
It's a great night to be Maverick, isn't it? Congratulations. You know, all your stories were so inspirational, and your gratitude was very appropriate. I'm really, really proud of you. I have a little background you might not know. Several of your teachers were first-grade students of mine. Okay. Several of your teachers were first-grade students of mine. In fact, Mr. Morgan's wife, Kirsten, was a first-grade and a fifth-grade student. So I'm part of your family. You don't know, but I'm part of your family. My scholarship is in my dad's name, Robert Burson. He was a teacher and a principal, and I think he's going to hover in here right now because this is where he first started, right at Central Grade School. He was a great man. He was many things, but one of the most important was that he was an incredible mentor of young people. He encouraged his elementary kids to reach for the stars, and when they got older and came back to see him, he encouraged them to go further and follow their dreams. Sometimes at a trade school, sometimes at college. And so I was so proud to hear so many of you that have a goal that you want to reach for. And in my father's name, Robert Bursian, I have a scholarship this evening for Maxine Burrows.
Thank you very much, Mary. It's always an honor and a privilege to have you here giving your father's scholarship with us each year. The $1,200 Susan Ruth Pavelka Memorial Scholarship is what we will award next. Mrs. Pavelka was an elementary school teacher in the Grand Ledge, Hopkins, and Wayland school districts for nearly 15 years. She was actively involved with her family, students, and her community. She was a caring person who advocated for quality opportunity for all students. This scholarship will be awarded in her honor to a deserving student who could use financial assistance and who wishes to better themselves through any form of higher education. This year's recipient is Miss Summer Welling. Congratulations, Summer. Next, we will award the Earl Chambers Memorial $500 Scholarship. Earl Chambers was a student and 2002 graduate of Traverse City High School. He was a caring individual who was always looking out for the needs of others. People at Traverse City High School fondly remember him as being creative, gracious, giving, diplomatic, and honest. The Earl Chambers Scholarship is an annual award that is presented to a student who shares the same high level of humanitarian ideals that Earl did. The scholarship this year goes to Miss Tawny Morris. Let's see what we can do. Next is the Traverse City Transportation Association $500 Scholarship. It's awarded to a student who has improved his or her GPA during the school year to a 2.0 or better, has exhibited and improved social attitude, and improved their attendance. This award may be used for college or a trade school. Funds may be applied to room and board, tuition, or books. The recipient this year is Miss Veronica Tapia. This is the 6th year for an award called the Opportunity Fund. The objective of this fund is to provide a $1,000 scholarship to a graduating senior of Traverse City High School who has demonstrated the desire, will, and ability to succeed in life. The scholarship is to be used by the recipient for further education and skill development in pursuit of the career of their choice. It is renewable annually for a maximum of 3 years as the student demonstrates successful progress toward the attainment of their goals. This scholarship is given in loving memory, gratitude, and admiration of the donor's father. He was a tool and die maker who understood the value of post-secondary education as a foundation for building a successful career. The recipient of the Opportunity Fund Scholarship for 2013 is Miss Emily Graham. Tonight we present the Ronald J. Hoth Leg Up Monetary Gift. It's a very special gift that we give to a student. It's awarded to a deserving student who is not necessarily pursuing a college education. The criteria for consideration are citizenship, effort demonstrated at school, need, and if the student is responsible. The award is funded by TCHS staff donations, pop can returns, and proceeds from popcorn sales. Thank you very much, Ms. Penny and students, for all of your popcorn work. It's a lot of work. The recipient of this award, a $500 check, cold hard cash, thus we make them be the kind of citizenship person that we want to get this, decided on by staff for 2013 is Nicole Michelle Irish.